say something, and I don't want to start something up. It bothers me to my core that you two have this bullshit going on.
It's not bullshit.
It is.
It's not.
It is.
It's real. You are taking your wife's side.
Man enough to shut up and let him talk.
You shut the up, Heavenly.
God damn! You talk too much.
Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Sami Sampi, and today we're going to talk about the latest episode of Married to Medicine. So we see the ladies, they're back from like Las Vegas, and they're all talking to their husband or back to their occupation. We see Dr. Contessa talking to the trainer and telling him how she had so much fun in Vegas, and we would like see like snippets of her like definitely not doing a good job with her diet. That was pretty funny. And then we see Dr. Anila recounting what happened to her husband and everything. After that, we see Toya with her child, and basically something happened when she was in Vegas. I think one of her boys went to sleep over at a friend's place. It was a birthday, I believe, or it was at the birthday. I think they slept over, and basically one of the friends accused Toya's son of stealing. And he's explaining to his mom what is happening, and she's obviously upset, and he's calling Dr. Eugene. Dr. Eugene didn't want to come. Dr. Eugene, for once, was having some downtime, and he just wanting to play his video game. He wasn't trying to come and talk about all this serious stuff. He came. I love the discussion that they had with his son. They're teaching him valuable lesson very early on in life. Everybody is not going to be your friend. Be careful when you're at people's house. Do not touch anything. If you see something, let your parents know. Be careful. Go where all the other kids are. Don't stay on your own in a specific place. And it's going to be hard not to talk about the fact that he's a little black boy. And when you're a little black boy that grew up in a prominent family, there's high chances that people in your entourage are going to be white. And at the end of the day, it don't matter how rich your parents are, whenever you are with some people of different color, you always have that fear that they may perceive you to be a certain way. So you do have to be a little bit more careful, and those things have to be taught really early on. And it's sad to say, I remember whenever I was a young girl, my parents just didn't want me to sleep over at people's house. It just wasn't a thing anyway. Even family member, and that for many reasons that I now understand better now that I'm a grown adult. I'm not a mom yet, but I don't know if I would want my kid to sleep at people's house like that. To want my kids to do so, you have to really be a special person. It has to be for a very limited amount of time. I mean, we'll see whenever I actually give birth to babies, but for now I do understand why some people are wary of other people. There's so much stuff happening in the news. I remember that lady that was at a party with her friends, that black lady, and then she got killed. It's frightening. It's frightening. And I'm not saying that's what is going to happen to our kids, but I do understand why my parents did not want me and my brother to sleep over at people's house. But yeah, I really like the relationship with Toya, Eugene and their son. I think that they're raising a well-rounded, well-spoken young black man, and it's beautiful to see. I love the relationship that they have. I love to see stuff like that on TV. I always say, it don't matter what it is, but when the kids involved, it always warm your heart, to see those little innocent people just being themselves in front of the camera. It always makes you feel good. Then we see Dr. Heavenly going to visit Dr. Jackie. I believe that was a follow-up on the whole menopause situationship, and they're talking about Dr. Heavenly's health. They're talking about the symptoms that she may get the older she's getting into the whole menopause thing. And then they're talking about the O-shot events that Dr. Jackie is trying to put together, and I'm like, I want to go to the O-shot party. I want to get an O-shot. As soon as I've seen that episode and Dr. Jackie talked about it, I went and done my research about it and everything, and I am in. I heard that there's a lot of benefits to get that. It helps you to get faster orgasm if you've never had some. It helps with urinary incontinence if you have some of them. It keeps the vajayjay, Heavenly is telling Dr. Jackie that her mom health is declining every day. You can see that she's really afraid about it. One of my biggest fear is to see my parents grow older. I love my parents. My parents are literally my best friend, and the idea of losing any of them really gives me a lot of anxiety, especially at the stage that I am in my life right now. My parents are literally the people that I live for. They're like the most important people to me in this planet, like literally. When I think about them and the things that I want to be able to do for them, it's what keeps me going. As you know, I don't have children yet, and my parents are really my everything. So I feel for Dr. Heavenly. It's not a difficult situation. They're talking about putting her mom in a hospice, and I know this is the American way, and the life is set up differently in this country, but the idea of putting my parents in a hospice is not really attractive to me. I would be willing to change everything about my life to make sure that my mom and my dad are part of it, especially in their later years in life. I pray to God that I will be able to actually have my parents with me. I know several family members that whenever they grew older were living with their children, some of them being my cousins, and I even actually had loss in my family, actually in the family home. Whenever I was 13 years old, one of my grand uncle actually died in a home. May rest in peace. So, you know, there's something beautiful about that. I really see myself living a life where it's not just me, my husband, and our children. I would love to have extended family member being part of the group. Let it be his parents, my parents. This is something that I think is so beautiful, and I hope that Dr. Heavenly and her siblings, whichever arrangement they have, it will be possible for them to actually be with their mom. But in certain situations, I understand that the hospice might be the better way, maybe because the children are too busy, and at least at the hospice they will be sure that their mom is going to receive the proper care. So yeah, good luck to Dr. Heavenly. This is not an easy situation to be in. Kiran, Anila, and Anila's parents, they make me laugh, y'all. I don't know if they're doing it for the TV and stuff, but they really make me laugh a lot. Now that Kiran and Anila do not have a babysitter, the other option that they have is to have Anila's parents taking care of their children, which means that they probably have to come and live with them for some time. Kiran is not excited about it, and he basically wants to have a trial period. During that trial period, Kiran came up with 10 commandments on what he would like the parents to do and not to do. The way he put it together, it was pretty, I would say, funny, and I think it's probably more because of the editing. The things that were actually in the 10 commandments made me cringe a little bit. Not that they're bad, but a part of me is like, isn't it supposed to be known that you should wash your hands and do certain things? But hey, he actually had the courage to present that to Anila's parents. I felt that they took it nicely, probably because the camera was there. I don't know what their dynamic is. They're saying like they don't want to do none of that stuff. And I don't blame them. It's kind of hard for like older parents, especially for like if you're African descent and like people like that, to actually want to listen. They're like, we're the parents, we don't need to follow no rules. And I understand, but hey, they did it. We'll see how it goes. Dr. Kiran put a lot of thought into the 10 commandments. They even has it done in both English and in Hindi to make sure they get it, I guess. So that was funny too. And yeah, I mean, we'll see how it goes. Good luck to them on that. But I honestly, in this real life, I mean, I don't know how I could do that to either my husband's parents or even my own parents. How am I going to be able to give them 10 commandments? I feel like when you do that, you kind of like set up the tone for people to kind of be uncomfortable, because it's not an easy conversation to have. And because they are like of another generation, they may not be able to take it the best way that Kiran want them to receive them. I mean, in real life, I wouldn't be able to give that to someone. Please let me know in the comment if you had to do something like that. But I'm going to be honest, boundaries are necessary. Next, we have Dr. Simone and Dr. Cecil. They decided to host Dr. Contessa and her husband, and Dr. Evanly and Dr. Damon. And a part of me is like, again, she didn't want to talk about their books again. But I like the little setup they put together. A part of me feels like they probably did that to actually try to like bring those two couples back together, especially after everything that happened between Dr. Evanly and Dr. Contessa. So they all sit down, they start the conversation and everything, and I'm going to go right into it. I felt that Dr. Damon is a very smart man, and he has a very quiet authority that I appreciate in a man. He's always very soft-spoken but well-spoken. His words stings, and when I say stings, like they carry long. I respect him. There's the aura that Dr. Damon has, I have a lot of respect for. And I feel that whenever it started and he was talking to Dr. Evanly and he was making his point, like, I told you to do this one time, I shouldn't have to tell you to do it several times. I thought that's very fair. And that's something that we should all do. I feel like a lot of us don't listen to the other, and I feel like if we were to listen to the other, it would really help us a lot. It would really cut us a lot of like fighting and going back and forth. Things escalated when he said that he felt that the situation between Dr. Evanly and Dr. Contessa was kind of like some BS or stuff like that. I forgot the exact term that he said. But I feel that maybe at the moment he may not have used the correct word, but I felt like coming from him, it would have been easier to understand that he was just trying to say that he's sad that they're actually fighting. Dr. Contessa was on the defensive as usual. And I mean, just the way she's speaking, I mean, she's still on the defensive. And I'm like, how do you fight with Dr. Damon, you know? And then she's talking about Dr. Damon is trying to defend Dr. Evanly. Granted, I feel like production cut some of that back and forth, but from what I could infer, I don't feel like he was necessarily trying to defend Dr. Evanly. I actually feel like he was trying to say that Dr. Evanly is wrong. Dr. Contessa got mad, then Dr. Evanly is like, man, can you please shut up and just listen? And I mean, I kind of agree with Dr. Evanly. Like, Dr. Damon is a very quiet, nice man. And I don't feel that he was trying to like tell them what to do, but I feel like Dr. Contessa probably took it that way. The way she was speaking in her confessional, talking about their doctor, with doctor, they have money, we have money. I'm like, girl, this is not a competition. I feel like sometimes when people speak that way, that's maybe because they feel kind of like less than in a way, and they're saying, hey, you don't gotta go at me this way because you and I are the same. And this is not, I think, the approach that Dr. Damon was trying to take. Obviously, Dr. Contessa is still mad, and it shows. I mean, how do you get mad at Dr. Damon? Like, seriously. And once again, I had a lot of respect for Dr. Damon. When he saw that the situation was not going to get any better, he checked up the deuces and he left. I mean, such growth in that. Like, when he got in front of the car, he opened the door for his wife, even though he was not happy with her. He told her he wasn't happy with her. He told her he's going to need a minute. I have so much respect for Dr. Damon. Like, Dr. Evanly is one blessed and lucky lady to be able to have found a man like that. The level of understanding that he has, and you see the respect in her. And that's probably why they work. Because I think that Dr. Evanly have a profound respect for her husband, and how not to, based on what we see on TV. He is a very, very respectful man. He deserves the respect that he gets, the way that he acts, the way that he has that self-control. I mean, all I can say is, like, kudos to Dr. Damon and this. And when it comes to Dr. Contessa, she's still on the defensive. I don't know, maybe only time is going to help her, but I feel like she didn't have the right to like get excited and get defensive that way with Dr. Damon. Let me all know what you think in the comments, y'all. Ladies are all coming to the whole shot, and I mean, I want to go, as I said. And yeah, why did Anila bring her mom to this? Like, you brought your mom to this. This is not the type of place I want my mom there. And then your mom don't even let you take the shot. Like, what? Like why? Like why? Why was that? But hey, the ladies have a good time. Dr. Evelyn did not make it because she's not feeling good and she's letting Dr. Jackie know. I thought that was nice. And yeah, that for Married to Medicine, episode 8, the episode was good. It was a little bit on the slow, but it was still good. You know, we had that climax moment, still giving, waiting for next week because we know it's about to get hotter and hotter. On this note, if you're new here, hey, and I invite you to, you know, and for those of you that have been here from the beginning, thank you all so much for your support. I really appreciate you, and I will see you soon. Bye.